Hello everyone, welcome to our YouTube channel Buddha Affirmation. Here every story has a purpose and every lesson is meant to help you grow in a life. So let's dive into a new story that will teach us how we can cure our restless mind. So let's start this story. Once upon a time, a wise master and his disciple were walking along the shore of a vast ocean. It was a cold, windy day with strong gusts of wind sweeping across the beach. The waves in the ocean were enormous, crashing fearlessly against the rock, making it seem as if nature was putting on a grand display of its power. The master and the disciple walked in silence, their footsteps blending with the sounds of the roaring waves. The disciple, curious but unsure, kept wondering. What lesson could the master possibly be teaching me on such a stormy day? After a while, the teacher suddenly stopped, turning to face the ocean. He stood there for a moment, gazing at the turbulent water. Then he looked at his disciple and asked, "What does this ocean remind you of?" Disciple thought for a while and then said, "Master, this ocean reminds me of my mind and its restless thoughts. Just like these waves rise and fall continuously, my thoughts come and go endlessly." The teacher smiled and nodded, pleased with the answer. "You are absolutely right, my son. Our mind is indeed like this water. When it is calm, it is clear and steady. But as soon as the wind starts blowing, the water becomes restless and waves begin to form. Similarly, when thoughts arise in our mind, they create turbulence. Desires, fears, and worries are like the wind that disturb our mind." The disciple listened intently, trying to absorb the depth of his master's words. After a brief pause, the master continued, "Now tell me, would you want to sit in a boat that gets stuck in the middle of such a stormy sea?" Without hesitation, the disciple replied, "No, master, that would be so dangerous. I would never want to be in such a situation." The master smiled gently and said, "You are right. It would indeed be terrifying. But the truth is, most people live their lives just like that, floating aimlessly in a tiny boat on a stormy ocean, without any oars to guide them. Their minds are restless, filled with endless thoughts that toss them around, just like these waves." The disciple was silent, thinking deeply about what he had just heard. After a moment, the master asked, "Tell me, can you calm this water by trying to hold it still with your hand?" The disciple shook his head and replied, "No, master, that is impossible." The master chuckled and said, "Exactly, you cannot calm the water by holding it. The only way to still the wave is to stop the wind. Similarly, if you wish to calm your mind, you must learn to control your thoughts. Your thoughts, your desires, fears, and worries are like the wind that makes your mind restless. If you can control them, your mind will naturally become peaceful." The disciple took a deep breath and asked, "Master, if the ocean could stop the wind, would the waves really disappear?" The master laughed lightly and said, "Yes, if the wind could be stopped, the ocean would indeed become calm. But the truth is that we cannot control nature's wind. However, you can control the wind of your mind, that is, your thoughts. And if you can quiet those thoughts, your mind will become as still as a calm ocean." The master's words filled the disciple with a sense of wonder. He realized that his own mind was often as turbulent as the ocean before him. The master continued, "Look closely, and you will understand that the true nature of the mind is not restless. Its natural state is calm and steady. But just like the wind creates waves in the ocean, our thoughts disturb the mind. These thoughts bring emotion like desires, fears, jealousy, and greed, which make the mind even more restless." The disciple nodded thoughtfully and asked, "Master, is it really possible to control one's thoughts? It sounds so difficult." The master replied, "It is indeed challenging, but not impossible. Scientists say that the human mind processes nearly 60,000 thoughts in a single day. Now imagine how difficult it would be to control so many thoughts. The disciple nodded again, realizing the enormity of the challenge. The master smiled and explained, "But the thing is that not all the thoughts are the same. We can categorize them into three types. Number 1, positive thoughts. Number 2, negative thoughts. And number 3, wasteful thoughts." Curious, the disciple asked, "Master, I understand positive and negative thoughts, but what are wasteful thoughts?" The master replied, "Wasteful thoughts are those that serve no purpose. They neither improve your life nor solve any problems. They are like what if or regret about the past." And the surprising thing is that most of our thoughts fall into the category of wasteful thoughts. The disciple was amazed and said, "Master, can you give me an example of wasteful thoughts?" The master nodded and said, "Of course. Imagine you are reading a newspaper and you see a report about rising unemployment. At first, you are just reading the news, but then a thought pops into your mind. What if I lose my job someday?" That is a wasteful thought, but it does not stop there. Next, you think, if I lose my job, how will I pay my bills? How will I afford my home? What if I get evicted? What if I end up on the streets? All these thoughts snowball into a storm of negativity. But where did it all begin? With a simple piece of news. A single wasteful thought created a flood of negative thoughts, leaving your mind in chaos. The disciple lowered his head, realizing that he often allowed such a thought to dominate his mind. Sensing his concern, the master reassured him, "Don't worry, my son. There is a way to overcome this. The first step is to become aware of your thoughts. Once you recognize them, you can stop wasteful thoughts before they spiral out of control." The disciple asked eagerly, "Master, how can I do that?" The master smiled and said, "It is like sitting by the side of a busy road and watching the cars and bikes pass by. The cars and bikes represent your thoughts. You don't need to stop them or chase after them. You just need to observe them as they come and go. If you can practice this, your mind will begin to find relief from wasteful thoughts." The disciple listened carefully, though he felt unsure about mastering such a practice. The teacher continued, "It is not easy, but it is achievable with practice. The best way to train your mind is through meditation. Meditation teaches you to stay in the present moment. It helps you observe your thoughts without reacting to them, allowing them to pass like clouds in the sky. Over time, this practice will calm and stabilize your mind. When your mind is calm, the world around you will also feel peaceful. Don't try to change the outer world. Start by changing your inner world. Once you gain control over your mind, you will gain control over your life." The disciple was deeply moved by master's teaching. He bowed before his master and promised to work hard on calming his mind. Slowly but surely, he began to practicing meditation and mindfulness. Over time, he noticed a significant change. His mind became quieter and his life felt more peaceful and fulfilling. This story teaches that our thoughts shape our reality. A restless mind filled with unnecessary worries and distraction creates chaos in life. By learning to observe and control our thoughts, especially the wasteful ones, we can achieve inner peace. Meditation and mindfulness are tools to calm the mind, helping us to stay in the present and resilient even in life storms. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed this video, hit like button. And for more such stories, subscribe to our channel. Thank you and stay positive.